Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we should now embark into our first panel discussion for this morning. What is the ASEAN-India Economic Partnership? We're once again privileged to have Their Excellencies joining us, and chairing this panel discussion will be Ambassador at Large, Chairman of the Institute of South Asian Studies, Singapore, Mr. Gopinath Pillai. We do believe once again that our guest of honor, Honorable Minister Mr. Nitin Gadkari, has a flight to catch, so I'll do this as quickly as I can and hand the proceedings and the floor over to our moderator. Join me in giving them another big warm welcome, please. Ambassador Gopinath, sir.
Let me join the High Commissioner in welcoming you once again for this first session of the PBD this year. The subject for this session is ASEAN-India Economic Partnership. I'm honored to be asked to chair this session, which comprises three iconic figures. I think High Commissioner has given you the background of these people, and you all know them without any sort of description of what they are doing. You know them. The composition of the board and the fact that the three political office holders are sitting here to discuss this subject shows the importance the Government of India places on this relationship and ASEAN places on the relationship with India. I'm thankful to the Indian government for choosing Singapore as the venue for this PBD. The last one we had in Singapore was, I think, 2008, and this is the next one, and we have this very large. And I must congratulate the High Commissioner and his team for having worked so hard to put this event together. It's not an easy job, and within a relatively short period of time. The program is, I think, there is a sequence of, I will invite the speakers to speak, but before that, the India-ASEAN relationship, which completed 25 years in 2017, has progressed from strength to strength. While much has been achieved by the two sides during this period, I would like to touch on two areas which I think are key to the partnership: trade and connectivity. India-ASEAN trade, growing economic cooperation between ASEAN and India, has been facilitated by the ASEAN Free Trade Area, which came into effect in 2010. The trade value was 70 billion in 2017, a significant increase from the 3-odd billion in early 1990. However, the figure is still short of the US 100 billion that leaders from both sides targeted for 2015. The two sides, nonetheless, remain committed to the concept of mutually beneficial free trade and open trade, as evidenced by continuing negotiations on initiatives such as regional comprehensive economic partnership. Connectivity. Connectivity between the two sides has been a key point in the maturing relationship. Earlier this year, ASEAN-India Connectivity Summit, India's Minister for Road Transport and Highways, Mr. Nitin Gadkari ji, proposed a US 1 billion credit line from India for the connectivity projects between India and ASEAN. In 2003, the Vajpayee government had announced an open skies agreement to improve connectivity. India has air services agreement with several of the ASEAN countries, such as Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, and Thailand. Singapore's Minister for Foreign Affairs, Dr. Vivian Balakrishnan, raised the importance of further enhancing the air connectivity during Singapore's symposium in New Delhi in October 2017. He highlighted that India stood to gain much by liberalizing its air services, not just connectivity, but also economic growth due to tourism and other related activities. Despite the small size of Singapore, it is a natural gateway for India, as the High Commissioner mentioned, and ASEAN to develop connectivity with each other. This is due to several factors. Firstly, Singapore has both an ethnic Indian local population as well as Indian diaspora, which naturally provide direct linkages to India. Secondly, Singapore has long been an attractive hub for Indian professionals and students. There's something like 6,000 Indian companies registered in Singapore. Also, given our somewhat limited experience in areas such as infrastructure, ICT, finance, and intellectual property, our advantages as a location in the heart of ASEAN, we believe that we can play our small but important role as a multiplier for the Indian Southeast Asian economies. There is much more that ASEAN and India can offer to each other. I'm sure in the course of the next few minutes, next 2 days of the ASEAN-India PDB 2018, you will have the opportunity to gain further insights on how two sides can further enhance their relationship. My institute, the Institute of South Asian Studies, holds a conference in Singapore of South Asian diaspora once in 2 years. The next one is in October this year. In the first one, held in 2011, the mentor for CII at that time, my friend Tarun Das, strongly urged India, which is by far the largest economy in South Asia, to throw open the doors wide and allow free trade between the flow of goods from South Asia and India, the other countries of South Asia and India. I will not be too bold by suggesting that the same privilege be offered to ASEAN. I will not upset the apple cart, but it would be good if some measures are taken to expand the trading activity. There are areas which are still new and not enough being done. I'll give you one example. I think High Commissioner mentioned in his speech about Ayurveda. Yoga has captured the imagination of the world, and the Ayurvedic treatment has also that potential. But unfortunately, it is not given the same recognition in the ASEAN countries. This is mainly because the practitioners of this science has not taken the trouble to go through the process to get acceptance within the countries of Southeast Asia. Traditional Chinese medicine has captured the market, and just like them, Ayurveda can also grow, and it become a very important link between South Asia, between India and Southeast Asia. But effort must be taken to introduce and set in place a process that is credible and acceptable to the countries of Southeast Asia. So there are others as well, other things that you could do, but I'm giving just one example. With that, it is my pleasure now to open to the speakers, and I will call the speakers according to a schedule that I've been given, and I think the first speaker will be Mr. Nitin Gadkari, please. You can speak from there if you want, and you can.
His Excellency Minister Iswaran ji, His Excellency Mr. Vellu ji, Palji, all respectable dignitaries and dear friends. First, it's a great pleasure and pride for me that I'm here with all of you. It is really a great satisfaction for me to meeting with all of you here in Singapore. As far as India is concerned, our Prime Minister has decided to giving highest priority for development of infrastructure in the country. We are the fastest growing economy. And water, power, transport and communication, these are the four important things which are very important for our development. Now, particularly regarding infrastructure, when our new government taken charge, I was responsible for road ministry. The road works comes to 2 kilometers per day. And today, it comes to 28 kilometers per day. And I am confident that our target is for 40 kilometers. In India, we have 52 lakh kilometers of road length, out of which only 96,000 kilometers as a national highway is only the 2% of the road having the traffic more than 40%. So we have taken a decision to increase it from 96,000 kilometers to 2 lakh kilometers, by which 80% of the traffic will be on national highway. There is a huge potential. The automobile industry in India, the growth is 22%. So the position is, it's really a big problem for the country, that automobile growth creating a lot of problems in the road sector, even from pollution point of view, it's a big problem. So now we have decided to giving highest priority for development of public transport on electricity. But today, we are moving fast on making new express highways, ring roads. We have a big project we have just launched by Prime Minister named as Bharatmala. Here we are expecting the road construction of 7,50,000 crores. Already we have crossed the limit of 6 lakh crores. We don't have any financial problem as far as road sector is concerned. Our NHI is a AAA government-owned authority, having the rating of AAA. Even the world standard also, the rating is AAA. Our total income is more than 10,000 crore per year. And now we are decided to monetize 120 projects, which will at least give us 1,25,000 crores. So presently in the road sector, we don't have any investment problem still. The people who want to invest in the road sector, they are welcome. And by direct route, there is no problem. You can invest directly or you can invest with a joint venture company from India. There is all opportunities are available. The traffic density is good. These are all the toll roads. So the internal rate of return is very good. Regarding this Bharatmala, we have already completed the DPR of 24,000 kilometers. And out of which, I am confident that in next year, in 1 year, at least 50% of work we want to award for that. We are now planning for express highways. The first express highway in the country was Mumbai-Pune Express Highway, which when I was minister in Maharashtra, I appointed to construct that road. But now, the first express of India is the easterly bypass of Delhi, which is really a very good road, which is going to solve the traffic jam and pollution problem of the country, of the Delhi. At least 50% of pollution problem and traffic jam problem will be solved. The people coming from Punjab, Haryana, Uttarakhand, Himachal, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, going through Delhi, now they did not come to Delhi, they will go directly outside the Delhi. So at the same time, this road we are going to complete within a month. And the second express highway, that is Delhi-Meerut, where we are already, the Iswaran also within a month we will inaugurate that. There's a 14-lane road is there from Swaminarayan Mandir to Dasna. And it's really an important express highway to Delhi to Meerut. Presently it takes 3.5 hours. But I am confident after constructing this express highway, it will not more than 40 minutes. So the things are moving fast. Now just 2 days before, our cabinet approved the Jojila tunnel that cost 6,000 crore of 14.5 kilometer. It is the highest in the world. Then we have already have a state-of-art tunnel between Jammu and Srinagar already inaugurated by the Prime Minister. We have a big bridge in Arunachal Pradesh that is of 9.5 kilometer inaugurated by the Prime Minister. We are also making roads in Northeast, more than 1,25,000 crores worth we have sanctioned, out of which 70,000 crores of cost of the roads already started. We are now connecting India to Myanmar, Bangladesh, Bhutan and Nepal for that purpose. Already we have sanctioned the projects more than 25,000 crores, out of which already the 60 to 70% project already started. In the road sector, we are moving fast. But at the same time, the most important sector is the shipping, ports. We have 7,500 kilometers of seafront, which is very important. We have 12 major ports, and now we are planning for 6 major ports. So our all ports are in good profits. The first year when I taken charge as the minister, the profit was 3,000 crore. Next year it was 4,000 crore. Then for third year it was 4,000 crore. And for this year, we are expecting the profit of 7,000 crore from our port sector. We have a big program named as Sagar Mala. And this is a project of 16 lakh crores investment we are expecting. Out of which 4 lakh crore of investment in port-led development, port road connectivity and port rail connectivity. And it is a pleasure for me that we have already started work more than 2,50,000 crores in infrastructure, particularly port road connectivity, port rail connectivity, port mechanization and modernization of port. Related this 12 lakh crores of invested we are expecting in 14 industrial clusters and economic zone. Only I am giving you the example of Mumbai, where our Singapore port is working. Next month we are going to inaugurate that new terminal that cost 8,000 crore invested by Singapore ports. In Mumbai we have a special economic zone. We are expecting only investment of 60,000 crore. Already we received the offers. One of the company, Taiwan company is now, I just asked them, give me the affidavit. How much you are going to invest? Otherwise I will not give the land. They promised me to investment of 6,000 crore and giving jobs to 40,000 crore. And within 2 years, they promised to give job for 1,25,000 youth in Maharashtra in Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust, only from one company. We have 40 companies already offers we have to finalize that. So only in one port we have expecting the investment of 1 lakh crores in Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust in port-led development. Now, in next week, I am going to Kandla for starting of Smart City inauguration in Kandla. Now, the most important thing which I am appealing to respectable Iswaran ji regarding the cruise tourism. 1 lakh, more than 1 lakh tourists coming to India to Singapore to take cruise from here. I request him, you come to India, we are ready to make joint venture with you and your company. And at 11th January, we have a foundation stone program in Mumbai in BPT. We are making the cruise terminal of 1,000 crore in Mumbai. We have already 80 cruise in Mumbai every year. Then we are expecting one of the international agency has just given me the report by which we are expecting 950 cruise every year in India, out of which Mumbai is the location. The Chennai, Mangalore, Goa, and even in India also there is a huge potential is available. At the same time, we have decided to convert 111 rivers into waterways. We have 20 kilometers of river length. And today I want to show you the film. Probably I requested ambassador that to show you the film. I'm not talking only about the slogans and statements and declaration. I want to show you the work. We are making 3 multimodal hubs. Already work has started between Varanasi, Haldia and Sahibganj. And Varanasi to Haldia distance is 1,380 kilometers. We are making 40 river ports and maintaining the draft of 3 meter from Varanasi to Haldia. We have 5-star, 7-star cruise in Ganga. And I'm confident there are 9 ferry services, then 10 Ro-Ro services. And we have already inaugurated the system just like air traffic control, river traffic control system from Haldia to Patna. It is already started. So we have now just taken a trial of seaplane in Mumbai, and it is successfully. Now we are preparing the policy for that. We have catamaran, hovercraft, seaplane, MPVS buses, everything. Lot of huge potential is available. And regarding this cruise tourism, I am very much keenly interested that you can invest in it. Even in Singapore government, I request him that it is a field where a lot of opportunities are available. Related with this other river inland waterways, we have started work in Andhra Pradesh, that Bankingham Canal, with the Chandrababu, Naidu and myself. I was there. And we are starting the work of that waterways from connecting from Amravati to 168 kilometers in first phase. Then we are making, we have in my department, we have a Port Rail Connectivity Corporation. We have already started works more than 15,000 crores of railway. And now we are, from my shipping department, this corporation is going to construct railway from Paradip to Talcher to Paradip. And we are also making railway from Indore to Manmad. This 12,000 crore railway project, within 3 months we are going to start from my corporation. So huge potential is available. And the most important thing which I am requesting you, that Ganga is an aspiration, is a representation of Indian culture. The Clean Ganga mission is with me. We have 155 projects, out of which 97 new projects. Because the polluted water which is going to the Ganga, we have already finalized the project. Before March, 155 projects we are going to start. And before completing 2019, our idea is that our mission of Clean Ganga is 100% we are going to fulfill to give a picture of Clean Ganga. And for that purpose, on Ganga, we have a lot of planning for ghats, moksha dhams, then a lot of gardens, landscaping, dharmashalas. And when I was in London just 1 month before, I requested all Indian people. I received the sponsorship of 3,000 crores. Many people, we will take the responsibility of one of the industries from Chennai, from London, he take the responsibility for Patna, one of the taken for Kanpur, one is taken for Calcutta. And now, this Clean Ganga mission is our mission. And where I am appealing all of you to give your donation in this Clean Ganga mission. And some of the company, if you are ready to take the sponsorship of giving development of ghats in Uttarakhand, in Uttar Pradesh, even in Bihar, anywhere, a lot of proposals are ready with us. In Delhi, on our website, the proposals are available. You can give your name of your company or your father, anywhere, whatever you want it, you can take it. Even you can maintain it for 15 years. We will give the permission for that. Even for this water recycling project now, we are planning, we are getting the water recycling project using of the best technology in the world. And where we are getting now with methane and bifurcated methane from CO2, we will get bio-CNG. And our idea is to run 40,000 buses on bio-CNG on this Ganga river by using this green fuel. So the things are moving fast, huge potential is available. And the last point is with me because I got a lot of departments. And that is the most important thing for the country. The agriculture growth rate is very important. And now, at the time of Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, there was a big scheme, a river connectivity scheme, Nadi Jod Prakalpa. Now we have taken this to start 5 projects within 3 months. And here, these 30 projects involve the cost of 8 lakh crores. In Godavari, 3,000 TMC of water is going to the sea. We are making Polavaram, spending 60,000 crores in Polavaram as a national project. And at the same time, now my planning is taking that backwater of Polavaram. And second project is near Kaleshwar, near Maharashtra and Telangana border. Their big dam is there. After that, we will take the water of Indravati and taking that water to 2 dams, and after that, taking the tail end of Kaveri up to Tamil Nadu. And I am giving the assurance that is within 3 years, we will solve the water problem of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana. And our target is for irrigation is 1 crore 88 lakh hectares of land in 3 years. And we are taking now water, but not by canal, by the pipe. And we are making mandatory the drip irrigation. It is going to be a huge effect in agriculture field. It increased the agricultural production by 2 times more, because our Prime Minister's dream is making this agriculture production 2 times more in 2022. Then last, my point is, we are now concentrating on biofuel, ethanol, methanol, biodiesel, bio-CNG, and electric. We have electric car, electric buses. In my own constituency in Nagpur, we have 20 charging stations and 200 electric taxis. We have electric buses. We have 55 buses running on 100% bioethanol. And now we are importing 7 lakh crores for crude oil. And my dream is within 5 years, we have to change the situation. And now we have taken a decision, the cabinet note is just pending to the cabinet, that diversification of agriculture towards energy and power sector. Just 3 days before I declare in Parliament the methanol policy is for E15, M15, M85 and M100. So today there are a lot of good efforts that are available. I will request you that you are the best judge, you know the development in India. Now it is the fastest growing economy, and a lot of opportunities are available in India to invest in a lot of infrastructure field, in ports, shipping, inland waterways, automobile sector, and you are all welcome to India. Once again, thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, Gadkari ji. May I call on Mr. Iswaran?
Shri Nitin Gadkari ji, Samy, Vellu, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to all of you. In the interest of time, and I know the Minister has to leave soon, I want to keep my comments brief, but also to focus it on what I think are important areas where we can work together between India and ASEAN. Let me start by congratulating the Indian High Commissioner, Mr. Jawad Ashraf, His Excellency, and his team who have put together this outstanding event, which response has been phenomenal. I want to congratulate you, and I know the attention to detail that's been put into it. Please join me in congratulating them. Secondly, I also want to extend a warm welcome to all the delegates, including our business associates and partners from India and the ASEAN who have come here. And I think your presence here, and the strong presence, is an indication of your recognition of the opportunities that present themselves through the cooperation between India and ASEAN. I want to make a few simple comments. The first is the opportunity for collaboration and partnership between India and ASEAN is, I think, self-evident. Both regions have strong growth. They're coming out of relatively modest base, but anchored by fundamentals, whether it's in terms of demographics, whether in terms of the evolution of the economy and the needs of the population. What we see is an opportunity for continued investment and growth in both regions. Equally, both regions, whilst they are integrated markets, they are by no means monolithic or homogeneous. India is one country, but each state in India in itself presents significant variations. And that is an opportunity as much as it is a challenge, because it means for those who invest their time and effort in developing a deeper understanding of the market and its nuances and variations are the ones to whom the rewards will be greatest. Similarly, in ASEAN, we have the ASEAN Economic Community, an integrated effort to bring together ASEAN as one seamless market. And even as we go about this effort, which has gathered significant momentum in recent times, the important point to recognize also is to understand the relative strengths and the opportunities that reside within the different ASEAN member states and how we can go about participating in those and contributing to their growth. I thought there are a few key areas where we can focus our energies in order to achieve significant outcomes. And I thought I'd highlight a few sectors. The first is obviously in the area of infrastructure. I think it's appropriate that Mr. Nitin Gadkari is here, given India's ambitious and significant plans and operations underway to enhance its infrastructure. This cuts across whether it's roads, rail, ports, airports, etc. We have a similar need in ASEAN as well, and the needs in terms of not just the infrastructure, but also in terms of how the projects are structured and how they are financed is going to be an important part of the evolution of the infrastructure sector in our parts of the world. This is why Singapore has invested significant effort in creating an infrastructure office in order to facilitate the structuring of bankable, sound infrastructure projects backed by capabilities, not just in terms of legal and finance, but also in terms of engineering, in order to execute these large-scale projects across diverse infrastructure project requirements, whether it's in power, in water, in roads and ports and airports. So I think this is an area of focus, and in particular within infrastructure, smart cities, which is an area of priority for the Indian government as articulated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I think it's an important area where ASEAN businessmen and companies can participate in. Singapore itself is involved in several of these, the most notable of which is, of course, the Amravati project. But I think that stands as an example of what we can do together. But there is a range of opportunities, differing needs across India, and equally across ASEAN. And I think this is an area where we need to pool our capabilities. There are strong infrastructure companies in India, there are strong infrastructure companies in ASEAN, and how we can collectively work together to pursue some of these opportunities, be they industrial parks in Indonesia, or townships, or smart city developments in India. These are things that we should be looking at actively. The second area I would highlight is in startups and innovation. Both India and ASEAN have emphasized innovation in the startup ecosystem. And this is because in the evolution of industries and sectors that we see today, across all verticals, the disruption factor is high, and the potential, therefore, for new players to come in is significant. But the interesting thing about startups also is their need to be connected globally, or at least regionally, from the get-go. So these days, we don't look at startups as companies that reach a certain scale in the domestic market before they venture overseas. Indeed, many of them are already looking for opportunities to connect with other markets early in their development. So this is an area, because India has identified startups and innovation and investment in this as a major priority. And we are doing this in Singapore as well, and also in the context of ASEAN. Many of our ASEAN member states have prioritized this. So I think this is an area we should be looking at to see how we can build the connectivity in order to achieve mutual benefit and growth. A second area I would highlight is in the digital economy and e-commerce. Singapore assumes the chairmanship of ASEAN this year. We're emphasizing resilience and innovation as the themes, and an important anchor in the effort that Singapore is undertaking with our ASEAN partners is in the space of electronic commerce and the digital economy. Why is this important? Not just because it is a fad or a fashion that's cutting across. Most importantly, it creates opportunities for small and medium-sized enterprises to now access markets that were well beyond their reach previously. They're able to reach out into the furthest markets through digital connectivity, and that means it is an opportunity to unleash the potential of a whole segment of our enterprise ecosystem. And I think this is an area that all of us share as a common priority. And it is an area where in ASEAN, we want to ensure the enabling environment is there for our enterprises to participate actively in the digital economy. The final point I would make is, in the ASEAN context, is beyond the digital economy and innovation, we want to ensure a larger enabling environment for services and for activities that are supported around services. So an ASEAN agreement on trade and services is an area of importance and priorities being accorded to that as well as part of work stream. I can highlight many other areas that we want to emphasize, but the key thing I wanted to conclude with is this. In ASEAN, there is a clear impetus to integrate the market further in order to meet the needs of our people and realize the potential of our economies. In India, that effort is equally underway under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, and we are seeing the results. Both economic entities have got significant growth potential, and indeed, the center of gravity in terms of global growth has moved to Asia largely because of the Indian, ASEAN, and Chinese growth aspects. So we have now a unique opportunity to pool our resources. I think it's fitting that this event is taking place in Singapore. Singapore has had strong historical connections with India and, of course, with our neighbors and our region in ASEAN. But at the same time, we also have functioned as a gateway for Indian businesses coming into ASEAN, for ASEAN businesses going into Asia. And this has been our traditional role, and that's reflected in the strong cohort of Indian and ASEAN businesses that are present here and incorporated in Singapore. So I think the potential is enormous. We need to focus our minds on specific areas or sectors where we can get the maximum outcomes. And I think that's where the opportunity is, so that we can build that connectivity between our economies, between our businesses, and between our people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Iswaran. Now I call upon Tun Samy Vellu. Let me just explain. Tunship is the highest honor that the Malaysian government can give to any citizen. He is a recipient, one of the longest serving cabinet ministers in Malaysia. Tun Iswaran.
His Excellency, Mr. Gopinath Pillai, Ambassador and Chairman, Institute of South Asian Studies, Singapore. His Excellency, Mr. Iswaran, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to be here today and would like to extend my sincere appreciation to Singapore for organizing this conference with India to harness the Indian diaspora through ASEAN-India partnership. Congratulations to Singapore for being a progressive, green, and forward-thinking nation. Singapore continues to reinvent itself by restarting in economy and investing in its infrastructure to be a leading nation in the world. Malaysia and Singapore share a lot of common integration in terms of economy, social, people engagement, due to the close cooperation between our leaders and the business fraternity. ASEAN, as its 10 members countries, is an economic superpower with the gross domestic product of more than US $2.5 trillion. It is the sixth largest economic force in the world with the population size of more than 600 million people. India, under the dynamic leadership of His Excellency the Prime Minister and Modi, is on track to become the world's fifth largest economy in 2018, and by 2050, India shall be the second largest economy in the world. Today, India and Asia account for almost 1/3 of the global population. That is 1.85 million people in find. Indian civilization and culture spread in many parts in Southeast Asia through ancient routes via trade. Commercial as Western 500 BC, Indian traders' presence in this region led to many historic and successful Indian kingdoms. This formed the new journey for continuous cooperation between ASEAN and India today. As a member of the ASEAN community, Malaysia values its bilateral relationship with India since 1998. India has been Malaysia's largest export destination in Southeast Asia. Over the last decade, trade has increased by more than fourfold, and India is currently Malaysia's 10th largest trading partner. Together, India-ASEAN community. India is now second fastest growing services economy in the world, and with 10% growth. India's Act East policy under the leadership of His Excellency Prime Minister Narendra Modi will create new opportunities in ASEAN for Indian investors. Collaboration in telecommunication and health care will be assist business, service, or any other services in the ASEAN region. Indeed, concept on one vision, one identity, one community can be realized. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been told by the organizers that we don't have time for question and answers, but that has been overruled by our special guest. He would like to answer some questions, but please do not make speeches. Speeches are over. You can ask a question. We will combine 3 questions together and ask the panelists to respond. So please remember, brief and to the point, and the panelists will be happy to answer for the next 10 minutes. First question. Very shy, yeah? Okay. Can you state your name and then ask the question very quickly? You don't have a mic. Can somebody give him a mic, please?
Hi, my name is Ajay.
Okay. Okay.
My question is to the three ministers. What is the plan for the seamless road connectivity from Singapore to India?
Come again?
What is the plan for the seamless road connectivity from Singapore to India?
Seamless road connectivity. Okay. We'll take three questions together. Another question, the gentleman there. Still can't find a mic. Yes, you speak loudly. Yeah.
Asan Kumar Dugat from Bangkok, India Thai Chamber of Commerce. I have one question only in brief. RCEP, ASEAN plus 6, inclusive of India, how soon it can happen? What is your visualization?
RECP, whether India is included. Okay, one more question.
I just need 2 minutes. I don't need so many.
I think you just have to shout your question.
Finally have the mic. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, wonderful.
Hi, my name's Prasoon. I run an organization called Billion Bricks. And you mentioned about your vision and the work which is going on for the next 3 to 5 years to 10 years. How about the vision between the India and ASEAN collaboration for, say, 2050, when all the youth who are leading the charge will actually be sitting on the stage and new generation would come in?
Thank you. 3 questions. Maybe Mr. Nitin ji can answer.
Yes. Presently, we don't have any plan or project for making road connectivity from India to Singapore. But we have now started the work from Meghalaya to Myanmar. The road work have already started. And after that, we will think about it. Regarding other 2 questions, I don't know too much information about it, but I will look into it.
I'll just take the point on the RCEP. I think the idea really has to be that we are trying to build an architecture of trade integration efforts. ASEAN is one, the TPP was another effort, APEC and the work we're doing within that is one, and RCEP is another important dimension to it. There's been significant discussion that's been taking place over a period of time, as many of you are aware. The challenge is, of course, in the diversity of the economies that are involved, and that necessarily poses challenges. Our own approach in Singapore has been to find the most practical modus vivendi forward so that we can sustain the momentum in terms of global economic integration and trade efforts, especially in the environment that we are in globally, where there's considerable anti-globalization rhetoric. We need to demonstrate by example and outcome that this is possible and it's achievable. So Singapore has been working on various bilateral and regional efforts, and our own expectation is that the RCEP should yield results, and we're hoping that our other partners, including India, takes a constructive approach to this so that we can achieve an outcome early.
Okay, next batch of questions. We can have only one more batch, and this is the last one. Okay. You're doing good work, Hajit.
Good morning, all, and Happy New Year. My name is Lakshmi Rajan. Given the focus on digital economy, then connectivity, e-commerce, smart cities, satellite towns, I think India should focus equally on rural connectivity, because there will be otherwise unbalanced development. There should be a focused plan to integrate.
What is the question? What is the question?
No, this is not a question. This is a request to the Indian government to connect the rural villages in India to mainland cities, because that's required to be focused on. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Next one.
Good morning, sir. This is Ashish Nayan. I work with the NRF here. My question is to Shri Nitin Gadkari ji. Sir, the smart city plan is going really well, and with several cities submitting their proposals in batches. But I come from a second-tier city, Ranchi in Jharkhand. But in my opinion, the strategy to develop a second-tier city into a smart city is different from how you can develop Pune or something like that. So what is the vision for an accelerated growth of second-tier cities in India to a smart city? Because they are the ones who are sending a lot of people to metropolitan, creating urban, the problem in the next few years.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think I'll ask Nitinji to answer.
Yes. Actually, our smart city program is with the Urban Development Ministry. We are planning for development of second-tier city also. There is also planning for that, particularly mass rapid transport, public transport on electricity, the other thing related with the solid waste management and liquid waste management. And the most important thing that today the program is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, under which we are planning for big housing schemes of the poor. And that is also moving fast. So there is also a huge potential available. Regarding my department, we have 12 major ports, out of which in 6 major ports we are planning for smart city. The plan is already completed. Now we are launching the program in Kandla. We are also planning for development of a smart city in Mumbai, BPT. We have a very good program for that. And regarding this village connectivity, we have a scheme named as Pradhan Mantri Sadak Yojana, Gram Sadak Yojana. When Atal Bihari Vajpayee was Prime Minister, at that time one committee was formed under my chairmanship. I prepared that scheme, and today this is the flagship scheme in India, and out of which 1,70,000 villages are well collected by the good roads for village connectivity in India, and we are giving highest priority for that. And today I feel that before 2019, we will complete the village connectivity in India.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have got to stop here. My gatekeeper has come. So I will have to pass it on to him. But before that, I want to thank the 3 panelists. They've done a great job. And I think there's much more we could get from them had we enough time. But thank you, Nitinji. I hope you have a good trip back. And Mr. Iswaran and Tun, Vellu, thank you very much.
Your Excellencies, can we give them a big round of applause, please? Thank you very much, Tun. Ambassador Gopinath Pillai, thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Minister, I know it's a very brief visit, but please return to our sunny green city soon. Minister Iswaran, Happy New Year. Can we give them another big round of applause, please? Thank you very much.